Huh? Where'd this letter in our bag come from? Could it just blow in on the breeze? Oh, it's from the tone-deaf bard.
Okay. Oh, oh. Oh, like that later. God.
Ah, welcome back, old friend. And how should I be addressing you these days? The honorary knight of Mondstadt? The Tumaini of Natlan? Or the great hero of Nodcry?
Wow! You sure have your finger on the pulse. We've barely caught our breath since Nodcry, but it sounds like you've already heard about what went down.
News travels fast on the wind. But before I can turn your tales into tunes, I need to hear them from the horse's mouth. My wine and my lyre are at the ready. So please, traveler, take a seat and tell me your tale. Amazing! Incredible! The Rapier of Solnari and the Doctor? Truly a tale for the ages! So I'm guessing the Wild Hunt is a thing of the past now that you've defeated the Rapier of Solnari?
Seems that way. We were kind of focused on dealing with the Doctor, though.
Well, that's good to hear. Hey, now that the Northern Abyss calamity is finally resolved, Varka must be getting ready for the triumphant return of his expedition, right? I haven't seen him in the longest time. He must have so many stories to share.
Right! Paimon was wondering about that, too. He did call you Barbados.
Let's call it half asleep. I was resting my eyes in the Thousand Winds Temple one day when I heard a commotion outside. It was a young knight who had journeyed there in search of trials and oracles after hearing some tall tales at the local tavern. In fact, all that awaited him were moss-covered walls and an angry ruin guard. But he seemed completely unfazed, laughing heartily as he sent the ruin guard's missiles flying off into the horizons.
Huh! They must have been making quite a racket if it was enough to wake up the tone-deaf bard.
Yeah, it sounded kinda like...
Hey! Is that all you've got? Oh, bring it on!
like that.
Giving up already? You're not half as tough as Varka said.
A young knight of Favonius trekking out to the Thousand Winds Temple in search of adventure.
A bard in green clothes. Does this mean... Oh, you're Venti? I was just wondering how I was gonna track you down.
Oh! So you were looking for the tone-deaf bard?
Hold on. Blonde hair, white hair. You must be the honorary knight. And Paimon! The Grand Master talks about you all the time. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lowen, Vice Captain of the 5th Company of the Knights of Favonius and a member of the Expeditionary Force. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Oh, so you're part of the expedition, huh? Right. So that's why Paimon's never seen you around in Mondstadt. Hey, wait a second. We never saw you in Notcry.
That's probably because when the Wild Hunt was still running rampant, I spent most of my time out on my own, making mincemeat out of monsters. I barely went back to base at all. Then, once the Wild Hunt calmed down, I got sent back to Mondstadt. Mixed blessing, if you ask me. Sounds like I missed out on some serious action.
No wonder we never saw you while we were dealing with the doctor. So, why did Varka send you back?
Deliver some letters. There's one for the Knights of Favonius, one for the church, another for the Dawn Winery, at least 10 of them in total.
Jeez, how many people has he sent to deliver his mail now? Mika, Inefa, Lowen. He should just, in fact, he's earned himself a new nickname. Let's go with...
I'll have you know that poetry and letters were humanity's earliest means of expressing their thoughts. So, tone-deaf or not, I wear the title of Bard with pride. And I consider Sir Writes-a-Lot to be quite a compliment.
Wait, really? Darn it! Maybe Paimon should come up with some harder-hitting nicknames for these two.
Anyway, since this young man has come all the way to the Thousand Winds Temple looking for me, I assume he must have a...
You sure are. To use the Grand Master's own word.
This one is for the bard in green clothes. These days, I think he goes by Venti. Doesn't really have an address as such. You could start by asking around in Mondstadt, or maybe try your luck at the...
I figured that since there was this punching bag here, ruin guard, I could get some practice in while I was at it.
That Varka is so slapdash sometimes. It's a good thing we...
Oh, he also said to remind you to write back.
Nothing in particular. Just some idle chatter between two drinking buddies. Varka gave you a whole bunch of letters to deliver, right? Maybe you can head into Mondstadt and deliver the rest of them first?
My thoughts exactly. Assuming I can find the way. Hopefully...
Well, why don't we have Mondstadt's honorary knight escort this homeward-bound wanderer to the city? I'm sure some of the recipients of Varka's letters will turn out to be old friends of yours.
Let's go! It's been a while since Paimon's done any guide work.
Thank you so much, honorary knight. And you, Miss Guide.
The Abyss. The Wild Hunt. Andreas. Get home safe, Varka.
Why do my ears feel so hot all of a sudden? Surely there's no way anyone found the secret stash of cash in my office.
Grandmaster, bad time to get distracted.
Watch out! Enemies approaching!
Huh? Oh, it's just a few stragglers. This expedition is almost over. We will make our try. Maria sweeping in!
Good. There we go.
Without the Rapier of Solnari to direct them, it seems like all that's left is their primal urge to...
If this is all that the Wild Hunt can muster now, surely the Light...
Just like I thought. What we should be wearing...
Grandmaster, based on Lightkeeper intel and our own reconnaissance.
Good. You know the drill. Stay here and...
Yes, Grandmaster!
We meet again, Andreas.
So, you've returned from Mondstadt. Don't you want to see what it looks like now? I was planning to take a look around there myself. Perhaps you could be my guide.
What's this? An echo from 1,000 years ago? Everything seems normal so far. Here's hoping I'm just overthinking things. It's your turn, my friend. Come, Andreas!
Although, for returning to your old home, perhaps Andreas is a little too ostentatious. Might...
Boreas.
Huh?
Injustice. Corruption. Iniquity. Is the surface world still as wretched and foul as ever? Answer me, heir to the knighthood of Boreas.
Looks like I'm not getting out of this without a fight. That's where things stand with the expedition. The victors will be returning home soon, so make sure to stop. P.S. I hope everyone's keeping up with their daily training. I'll be testing you all when I get back to P.P.S. I wrote individual letters for each and every one of you. Don't forget to write back.
Everyone gets one? Wow!
I guess the Grand Master must have something specific to say to each of us. Even I got a letter, and I'm not a real knight yet.
Jean?
Oh, yes. That...
By the way, anyone know where I can find the cavalry captain? I have a letter for him as well.
You mean Kaya? He said he was meeting a friend from the church at the... allegedly for work. Said he was exchanging intel. But I'd say there's a 50-50 chance he's just there.
Paimon bets there'll be lots of familiar faces there. How about...
Really? Oh, that would be a great help.
Our thanks to you too, Lowen. The other knights will help distribute the remaining letters.
Great. But I won't be resting just yet. I heard that another challenger recently
Very well, but...
I will. Goodbye.
Honorary Knight, you're still here. Is it that obvious?
Huh? But Varka's coming back.
True. From what you and Lowen have told me, the expedition has indeed accomplished its strategic objectives. It seems that Mondstadt no longer faces any threat from the perils of the North, be they the Wild Hunt or the Doctor. And yet, for some reason, I can't help but recall something the Grandmaster...
If I don't make it back from this expedition, you'll have to, if it comes to that. Remember to train the next knight of... I've planted some promising seeds in Mondstadt, but they still need time to grow. Some have yet to master the art of social interaction. What's wrong? Until I return, I leave...
The lineage of the Knights of Boreas has nearly been extinguished twice in Mondstadt's history. The first wandering knight to claim the title arrived in Mondstadt 1,000 years ago, along with his wolf companion. He was as free as the wind. He left no succession plan behind. Even his name was lost to history. But he had an informal disciple, a knight named Ravenwood, who admired the Knight of Boreas greatly. Ravenwood's valor and swordsmanship earned when the old aristocracy tried to regain power.
Wolf spirit? You mean that big blue wolf in Wolfen?
Correct. As you may already know, the Wolf of the North is the surviving spirit of an ancient god, and the Knight of Boreas serves as an intermediary between him and humanity. Lupus Boreas, who had never known what it meant to love, came to understand it through the... This was once a well-known tale in Mondstadt, but these days, few people are aware that the...
Huh?
The great Wolf King of the North came here from Nodcry. Although he doesn't like to speak of his past. In fact, he rarely shows himself to people at all now. As such, this tale can only be found deep within the Knights of Favonius library. The Grand Master didn't disclose any concrete objectives before departing on his expedition. I kept my speculations to myself, however. Sharing them would only spread unwarranted suspicion. You experienced the turmoil caused by Duvall and the East Wind's actions for yourself.
No wonder Varka wasn't clear about his motives. Is that what he was—
Very possibly. He was probably also reserving judgment. Having heard about your experiences in Nodcry, I now suspect that the Grand Master hadn't yet ascertained the true identity of our enemy at that time. And as it turns out, the calamity born in the North wasn't an ancient god, but rather the Wild Hunt and the Doctor. Yes, I completely agree. The tide can't, even if his contingency plan never needs to be put into action. I'm sure the Grand Master is relieved to know that it's in place.
Here's how I allocate my energy on a job. 70% goes to investigating, 10% to making a final decision, and the remainder for execution.
Okay. I'm back. Ugh.
That turned into a pretty long conversation, huh? We should probably go deliver those letters to the angels here now.
Oh my god.
When you're mixing drinks in hot weather, start by pouring in cold water and add...
Please. I've known that little trick for a good 10 years at least.
I know there's no one else in the tavern right now, but do you two really need to talk so loudly?
Kaya! Rosaria! D-Luke!
Looks like it's about to get even noisy.
A little liveliness never killed anyone. Traveler, Paimon. What?
Please allow me to once again. I hope you will give some.
From the look on your face, I'm guessing the Grand Master is still refusing to drop it?
He nags like an old man. It's hardly surprising.
Huh? Drop what? What's this about?
Nothing, really. Before leaving on the expedition, Varka came here to chat with me over a drink. I failed to avoid him. He, asked me if I'd consider rejoining the...
Yeah, right.
Whatever details I chose to omit are in the past. Dragging them back up now serves no purpose.
You say that now, but back then, you couldn't let it go. You and the Knights of Favonius were constantly at odds.
I wasn't seeing the full picture. I've had a lot of time to reflect, but my answer remains both the Grandmaster and the acting Grandmaster are too upright. I can't see the shadows that lurk beneath them due to the size of the organization they lead.
If I had a Mora for every time I've heard you repeat that argument. I actually don't disagree with the first part of what you said.
When you join an organization, you're bound by its rules, no matter how free it may seem on the...
You think so? Never mind the Knights. Have you honestly ever been bound by the rules of...
Good question. Have you considered that maybe that's why I chose to join the church and not the Knights to begin with?
Are they arguing or not? Oh.
What should I report back to the Grand Master? Public order inside the city? Monster activity in the wild? Oh.
My reply won't be a long one, as usual. I'm sure Varka won't be surprised.
If you hadn't had to deliver that guy's mail, you wouldn't have been subjected to all this tedious arguing. When I write back, I'll tell him to quit making trouble for other people.
That's no trouble. Lowen did most of the work.
So you see what's really going on here? All three of us fell for that old rascal's scheme far too
Huh? Scheme?
No. While I'm sure Varka knows full well that Diluc would never agree to rejoin the Knights, I believe the sentiments he expressed were genuine. There are people like Kaya and I, and then there are those who are true champions of justice to the core. Those people are the most susceptible to be— Not only that, but it happened to a Knight of Boreas. Yeah. So no one's told you this before? The lineage of the Knights of Boreas had nearly—
Oh! Wasn't Jean telling us about this?
I happened to hear about it from Varka once when he was drinking and started yammering on. Although the Knights of Boreas, of those who have, the best known are the first— But 500 years ago, there was one who earned the respect of He was a disciple of Rostam. They thought he would become the mightiest Knight of Boreas He was the perfect knight. Righteous, principled. His name was Roland, the blood-stained knight.
Yikes!
Well, apparently his original title was the White Knight, but he lost countless comrades during the Abyssal Calamity 500 years ago, including his tutor and mentor, Rostam. The endless bloodshed stained his sword and armor a crimson as deep as black. After that, he threw himself completely into battling monsters, leaving— It's hard to say whether the loss of an important figure in his life is what drove him to the point of But had he known that the Knights of Favonius would always welcome him back. So if you want my opinion, the reason why Varka keeps asking Diluc to rejoin, despite knowing that he'll never—